Big Mike here with
Hayes Entertainment.
today's episode. We got UFC fighter Sasha Palatnikov with a record of 6-2 in the welterweight division.
Like what we're doing, you hit the subscribe button. If you're looking for a mug, perhaps a hoodie, head on over to IOnlyTouchGreatness.com.
Sasha Palatnikov here, UFC welterweight, and you got to tune in to listen to You Only Touch Greatness.
This is the hottest place. The big name interviews in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
All right, sounds good. How's your day going?
Good, man. It was a pretty productive, busy day. Got some physio work in, got some strength and conditioning, starting to get back into things, feeling good again.
All right.
Awesome.
How you guys doing?
Good. Living the quarantine life.
Little
Quarantine life. You guys are in Canada?
Yeah, Vancouver, Canada, though.
Yeah, I see those Canuck jerseys.
Yeah. what team do you like?
Rangers. I'm a Rangers fan.
Okay.
They got a couple great players. Gretzky, Pat Gray.
There you go.
Yeah.
Messier.
Yeah.
We hate Messier in Vancouver.
I bet. But you guys have some good players too.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys credit. That's your sport. I lived in Canada, so I respect hockey. I'm a big fan of hockey. I think it's a great sport.
Oh,
Awesome.
Where'd you live in Canada?
I lived in Montreal. That's where I started my university.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, born in Hong Kong, the first UFC fighter from Hong Kong. That's a pretty impressive stat. Obviously, with a Russian father and a Scottish mother. What was life like growing up?
Pretty regular. It was safe. Hong Kong's a safe place. Very diverse, very cultural. So I grew up with friends from all over the world. And played multiple sports, team sports. Basketball, soccer, rugby. Sports from all over the world, and it was a cool environment, and it was very sports orientated and traditional in a sense, very like kind of British, the style of sporting out there. So it was a nice environment, and I grew up, I was obsessed with sports like from day one, from the get-go. I've always been a huge sports fan and looked up to all the best, the biggest athletes, especially as a kid. So I was always trying to, emulate them and train, and I would leave the house in the morning and come back 12 hours later, with nothing in my pockets, just get into my sports gear and just going and playing basketball or rugby or football or soccer, whatever it was, just messing around. And I was very active. I was just actually talking to my mom, and she was reminding me of how hyperactive I was as a kid, and I just had just tons of energy, and and there was no better place to focus that energy than sports. And I had friends that weren't into sports, and they would go out more and enjoy the nightlife, that kind of stuff. But I was just too tired, So yeah. I would just kind of just look forward to doing the sports stuff, and I'd had like a group of friends that were very similar, and it was just kind of something that I always just stuck to. And don't get me wrong, I would go out and hang out with them occasionally, spend a weekend out of the month or something, just where we could go and have a good time. But I was always I wanted my sleep, and I just wanted to be active. So it was always just like came together well.
Okay, jack of all sports then. You just tried a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah. Growing up, my first ever official sport was karate. And, being it was a very individual based sport. And then first time playing a team sport, soccer and rugby. Those are the two sports where I learned, oh, okay, I have my best friends as well. And I was like, oh, that's an amazing experience. So I kind of left, I stuck through, karate, but I had more of a love affair with the team environment as a kid. I thought it was great. And that actually was what kind of took me away from martial arts, or at least took my focus away from it into rugby. Rugby was something that I loved a lot as well as a kid, and pursued it very, very hard. But at the same time, martial arts were always like my off-season training, and it was just like something I enjoyed doing. If there was a way I could get a, inter club or inter gym fight, like I would take it just because I enjoyed it. And I'm competitive, so it was just something I enjoyed doing. And but I never thought, oh, I'm going to be as a kid, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a professional fighter. I was still looking up to the professionals that were fighting at that time, and was like, oh, they're beasts, they're monsters. I'm just a kid in Hong Kong who plays rugby. So it was just one of those kind of things.
Well, you definitely made the right decision.
Yeah, everything is like full circle. I was like low key training without realizing what I was training for, and then when it came to like a crossroads in my life, it was like I was 19 years old, and I was training with a bunch of pros, and I just started grappling for the first time ever, and I could really pick it up quickly. There were a lot of techniques that just kind of just came really natural to me, and
especially after playing rugby.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And like, just understanding what an underhook was, or just getting someone, being able to sprawl your hips and get someone from preventing you from taking you down was very natural to me. Not that I was very technical. It was just, I just thought that was what I needed to do to, get in a better position. And it just made sense, neurologically for me. And, once I started to understand the technique behind everything, and kind of the concepts, then it was just a matter of playing like strategy. It was like a chess game. So, I would obviously work on my strengths, and then obviously try to work on things I was weak in. But it required a lot of studying and a lot of, because when I can't do something, I have to be able to do it, or figure out why I can't do it or how I can do it. So that whole like system, especially learning something for the first time, it was like an obsession. I was spending probably 6-7 hours just watching videos and reading books. I ordered every single book available at the time, and it was very, very, like, when I love something like that, then I'll go in 100%. And it worked out perfectly, because my striking was at such a level that at that time, MMA in around 2010, 2011, like the level of striking was quite low. And I was just kind of a concept striker. I had a system in my mind that I had kind of had as a kid. And once I started to kind of refine it into kickboxing and Muay Thai, like I always was so confident there. Like I was like, oh, if I ever was able to fight, in a professional kickboxing environment, or even a professional boxing environment, I would feel very, very confident. And so when I was like doing very well against, established professionals, that were fighting out of this gym in Buffalo, I thought maybe, I could do this stuff. Even though when they take me down, I was like, I was useless. I couldn't do anything in the beginning. But once I understood kind of what I needed to do, and people kept telling me over and over, almost day in, day out, you got to do this. Take an amateur fight. You're good. Like, you'll be good. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to be a fighter. Like, I was pursuing other things at the time. And like, this just kind of came out of nowhere. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of MMA. I've been following MMA since, I can't even remember, since I was probably like 8, 9, but I've been huge. I'm a huge fan. And, I was just like, kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's what I want to do. I'm used to just watching it. I'm not used to doing it. And then I went to a couple events, watched some training partners do very well. And then next thing you know, it was just kind of like, all right, I'll just do it, just to say I'd done it, have a fight, amateur fight or whatever. And I went out there and finished the guy in, I think, like 40 seconds, 30 something seconds, and then something just kind of switched in my head, and I was like, hey, I think I can do this.
And now you're killing it in the UFC stage.
I mean, yeah, man, like my career has been kind of all, up till signing with, Ruby Sports Entertainment. I was just kind of on my own journey trying to find my way. I was very fortunate at different points in my career, and unfortunate in some situations too. But coming off of certain wins in my career, like, put me in situations to get bigger opportunities and fight for bigger promotions and get titles. And it's been great. Like, it's just everything. I wouldn't say everything went to plan. I kind of set this up in my mind a little differently, but it actually exceeded my expectations how soon it came. And obviously on 2 weeks notice with COVID and against a very tough opponent, it was just kind of like, man, there's no better opportunity. 2020 has been so crazy. Like, this is like the perfect opportunity to not only showcase myself on a I would say world scale, but just know that people have no idea who I am, because it was like the craziest thing leading into the fight, how no one did any research at all. Like, and they were making super crazy predictions and assumptions, and I was just like, what? And that kind of like gave me a fuel. And obviously being the big underdog, you're like, hell yeah, let's freaking upset everybody's fucking parlay. Like, let's go.
That's right. Absolutely. And you obviously did. We were just going to get to that. Obviously, take me back to your first UFC fight and big win against Louis Koski.
I mean, it was like I said, I literally, my buddy Sean Strickland was supposed to fight. He did fight, sorry. And I was supposed to corner him, but due to the COVID testing, I found out I was positive for COVID. So they're like, oh, you need to do a 10-day quarantine. And I'm like, all right, no problem. So I had to like stop working for 10 days, no training. So I'm just chilling at home, like whatever, like, oh, this is all bullshit. And then finally, like, I start feeling the symptoms. So I'm like, oh, I'm just kind of like feeling rough for a couple of days, sleepy, but I'm just chilling. And then all of a sudden my taste and smell goes, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, I was like, I like to eat and I can't even taste my food, you know? So that was a bummer. And then I was like sitting, I was kind of like depressed a little bit, thinking like, man, like, when's my next fight gonna be? Like, you know, like, this sucks. I just missed out on like 10 days of work. Like, this COVID's like ruining everyone's lives, you know, like just being all sob story and stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, like, I was just kind of pre-planning everything in my mind for the next year. And then I'm like, all right, quarantine's done. I'm going back to work tomorrow. I show up at work, and then my coach, John Wood, walks in, and he looks at me like someone got murdered in my family or something. It was like he had like this look on his face, and I'm like, dude, what's up? And he's like, have you seen your phone? Have you checked your phone? I'm like, nah. Like, he's like, get your phone. And then my manager was like, UFC fight 21st. You want it? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, didn't care who the opponent was, didn't even bat an eyelid. I was like, well, yes, like, let's go. There wasn't even a
That's
question.
awesome.
Yeah, man. And when he sent me the opponent, I looked him up, and you know, I immediately saw what I saw and was like, okay, perfect. Like, let's go. Like, I'm ready for this. So I wasn't really concerned so much of the opponent. I was just concerned of like making sure that I was going to be ready. And like, my lungs, obviously, when I first, so that news came out, like, what, maybe it was 7 p.m., I think, on a Tuesday night. And then like at 8:30, I was already hitting pads, and I was like huffing and puffing. Like, I was like, what the heck? Like, it was weird because I'm always in shape usually. So even like off 10 days doing nothing, even though I was still shadow boxing and doing whatever I could do. But at the same time, like, I was like kind of like worried. I was like, man, can I even go around? Like, this is stupid. So I was just like, all right, my number one focus is just getting these lungs cleared up. I was doing all kinds of stupid home remedies, essences and baking soda and steam and all kinds of stuff just to try to do whatever I could. And I was my strength and conditioning coach, Lorenzo Pavlica. He's like super genius. He took me up into the mountains, and he was like, let's just run the shit out of your lungs. And you know, and that's exactly, I felt like I was in a Rocky movie, just running in the snow. It was insane. But you know, it was really just clearing out my lungs, and it took about, I would say, 5 days until I was like, and I was working like 2 or 3 times a day, like really trying to get that stuff out of my lungs. And then finally it started to feel good again. And my body kind of recovered and was like, okay, we remember where you're at. And then all of a sudden I started to kind of feel sharp, and I got in a couple sessions of sparring. And, you know, usually when I'm like getting ready for a fight and have my, you know, I'm closer to the fight and have last rounds of sparring, I try to really go in, and I was doing good. So I was feeling confident. You know, this is something that I've been working on for a very long time. So it's not something that I just forget after 10 days. It's we stay ready. So yeah, I was running, I was doing everything that needed to be done. Weight was never going to be an issue. And then maybe on fight week, I started to like look a little bit more into Lewis and was like, okay, this is who he's fought. This is blah, blah, blah. Let's listen to these predictions. And then I'm just kind of like, all right. I mean, honestly, like, he hasn't done any, like, I don't, no disrespect, I think he's tough. What he's done is really good. To be able to starch everyone in the first round is awesome. But at the same time, you got to look at the competition and who you're fighting and who they fought. And, you know, you start to just dig a little bit deeper and you see the level of competition and you're like, all right, well, I know my level, and that level right there is not anywhere near my level. So
You're like, I got this.
oh, for sure. And like, I mean, a lot of people close to me, like we're talking like, you know, family, friends, they're all like, bro, like we're putting all our money on you, right? And they're like, we have nothing to worry about. I was like, we got nothing to worry about here. Like, this is not even
Fuck, you should have told me.
You should have hit me up, man. Like,
And now we know who we're betting on next time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, that's it's gonna be funny, bro. Like, I don't know what Vegas looks at. Obviously, they're gonna have a totally different tune for the next one. But I'm telling you guys, like, the next few fights, whoever they are gonna be against, it's gonna be awesome. Like, it's gonna be. You guys thought I watched my fight back, and you know, everyone's talking about how it's such an exciting fight. It was great, and like, don't get me wrong, I watched it and it was pretty dope, but that was like not even, that was probably like 30-40% of like what my output and potential can be. And and I was like, oh, you guys were entertained.
Fuck, I can't wait to see the full potential then.
Man, I'm excited because, like, you know, with 2 weeks notice coming off of that stuff, like I feel like just even with 4 weeks or 6 weeks, like, because I was going in there like kind of cautious in regards to how my cardio or my tank would be, especially fighting in that environment for the first time. I didn't know if I would get like that dump, but I really didn't. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I knew he was going to come out fast and hard. You know, that's how he does every fight. So I was like, all right, well, let's just weather the storm. I made one mistake in that whole fight that led to me getting almost finished and doing that Granby roll out of that kick that he caught. That was what was like my mistake, my error, that led to me getting hit in the back of the head multiple times. And then but
you got out of it.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I got up, but my equilibrium was a little bit off, and I never felt hurt in the fight. I just felt at a certain point in the fight, I lost my balance, equilibrium, and he landed a good shot on me and it dropped me. And I was like, man, I just got to get back up and just recover and just get away. Because I'd already felt his power start to kind of decrease. And especially every time that we traded, I would get into a clinch situation and he would just kind of start to deflate. I have like a really like low key, really sneaky clinch game. So when I clinch people, it's all strategy. Just try to get them out of their comfort zone. And he's the kind of guy that, like, you could see on the build, he's a very strong, muscular guy. So once you start, roughing in a bit of, shots to the head, shots to the body, and then you start grappling a little bit, especially with a guy that has no history of going out of the first round. So it was just like a matter of, in my mind, MMA math, and I just kind of put the whole combination together. I knew exactly. I thought I was going to finish him in the first round, and after watching that fight, I'm glad it went the way it did, but I still truly believe, looking back on it, I could have finished him and got him out of the first round. On a regular, Sasha's ready to go day, he would take him out quickly, just on his level. No disrespect to Lewis. He's good. He's a tough dude. He definitely took a lot. But I broke his orbital, I believe. He had surgery. So there's, I hurt people in there, and
you got some power.
And I hit hard, man. Like, I'm telling you, you guys just got to see when the next fight happens, and we'll have this conversation again. And I'm just telling you.
I believe you, man. I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. What's your favorite strike and submission?
My favorite strike and my favorite submission. Good question. I would say my favorite strike is the jab. I know that's a very basic answer, but if you can master the jab, you can win any fight you want. And I'm not even close to have mastered the jab, so I'm still trying to work on that. And my favorite submission, I would have to say the Kimura. Kimura has got to be my favorite submission. Yeah, those are my answers.
Hopefully we can see you pull that off someday in the UFC.
A Kimura? Hey, yeah. Anything's possible. These guys that shoot on me all the time, they usually end up getting Kimura'd or sprawled on. So yeah, I'm giving my secrets right now.
Let's hope not. Don't go doing that. Do you have any pre-fight meals or rituals?
Rituals. I mean, like now that I'm in the UFC, the pre-fight food is like provided by them, so it's not really a ritual. Usually, like because I fought the 7 times that I've fought. Sorry, now 8 times, but 7 times that I've fought, they've all been in a different city in a different country. So usually it's like me going into somebody else's backyard, and we always end up trying to find like a local grocery store or some kind of place where we can get food that we kind of can pick healthy stuff. So
Yeah.
that's always like a fun like journey, you know. I've been to some crazy places, so doing that has been fun. But since because I live in Vegas, this is like whoa, I'm fighting out of my backyard in its own sense. So it was actually really chill. Any rituals? I like to shower and stretch in the morning. Like I used to do it even when I would play sports, team sports. It's like important that I have to take a hot shower. That's just something, and I just kind of mentally go over stuff and shadow box a little bit, even stretch. But uh ritual, no, I mean I do a lot of speedball work, the ball on the electric
Yeah.
on the elastic. That's kind of been I've done that ever since I was competing as an amateur in boxing. I'm pretty good at it. So I just something that I've just done forever, and it just gets my eyes and my body and mind kind of warmed up. I guess would be a ritual that I do every time. I
Okay.
guess.
Do you have a dream fight or a dream venue?
Dream fight or dream venue. I don't really care about who I'm fighting as long as it's getting me to my goal. And my goal is to be the champ at welterweight. So I don't care.
You'll get there.
I believe it. I believe it. I just again the guys that are there that are in front of me, I don't worry about. I just know whoever that's gonna be there, they're gonna have to worry about me. So I'm just excited for the opportunity, like I said, to be able to perform at the highest level and perform internationally in front of so many fans. And I hope they get to just appreciate like a life's work, in action. So and especially people that love MMA, they can really get that respect for my style. And, I'm never going to lie on somebody and try to eke out a win or anything like that. Like, I'll fucking fight. So it's just one of those things that I love to do. And I respect people that appreciate the stuff that we do. Cause I mean, I'm not trying to like get any sympathy, but it's not easy, what we do.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Us sitting on the couch watching you guys, we definitely know it's not easy. Trust me.
Oh yeah. But at the same time, I'm doing what I love. So it's like even better. I don't get any stress or anxiety or anything in this. So the fact that I love it from a fan point of view, and the fact that I love it from a profession, a working point of view it's just a double bonus. And yeah, it's a dream opportunity, dream fight. Like I said, I want to fight for the belt and win it. And dream location, I mean, Madison Square Garden would be pretty dope. I spent
we get that choice a lot.
Yeah, Madison Square, but if we want to get real crazy, like I would love to fight in Hong Kong. Like that would be my real dream. Like if UFC was ever to come to Hong Kong, but
that would be pretty sweet.
That would be very difficult, I guess, to achieve. But who knows? Anything's possible. They had an event over in Shenzhen, so I believe anything's possible. So,
what's your entering ring music?
Oh, did you guys hear my last one?
I don't remember it. If I must have heard it, but I don't remember it. I watched it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. So for this, I mean, I've had a different walkout song for almost every fight. I think only one fight I've had the same song twice. But for this fight was the song is "The Heat Is On" by Glenn Frey. Okay. It's like Beverly Hills, Beverly Hills Ninja, I think, okay. Or Beverly Hills Cop. Remake, but yeah, it's a song that my father was a professional high diver.
Oh wow!
And he used to do these shows in the summer where he would be set on fire and he would jump from 45 feet off a 45-foot platform into the water. And it was a summer show that he did for like, I don't know, 2 months or maybe 3 months out of the year. And yeah, and basically from that, that song was the song that was played every time he did it.
Okay.
And yeah, so I don't know. It was just, I heard the song recently and was like, it kind of gave me that like deja vu.
Are you
And
gonna
then
roll with it for next fight?
I'm not sure. I have some stuff backed up, but I always like to have a good story or some kind of meaning behind it. Because like the situation, everything that was going on leading up to this fight, like the heat was on, man. Like, you know what I mean? So it was very fitting for the title, and kind of the situation that I was in. So I don't know if I'll play that song again. It might come back, but I'll definitely have something new for the next one.
Okay.
Definitely have something new for the next one. I've got like a list of like certain things that certain songs for certain things, and they'll have their place. And some of them are just so I guess unexpected, which is also what I like. I mean, no one was expecting me to have an 80s song, so I thought it was pretty.
Throw a curveball.
Why not?
Exactly.
Bring in more people that respect the 80s music.
That's right. Hey,
know?
Sasha, I just want to thank you so much, man, for taking the time for us and chatting with us. We're huge fans of yours, obviously, and huge fans of MMA, and we can't wait to cheer you on for the rest of your career, man. We know you're going to the top, and we can't wait to cheer you on.
I appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
We want to have you back on before or after your next fight. If we can circle back and have you on again.
Absolutely. You guys know where to message me, so
Yeah.
we'll definitely do it again.